We are going to start by getting all the elements that we need by using document.getElementById. So first we need const API key, and we are going to have the API key with the name of the WDB. Yeah. Okay, and then here we are going to get certain elements. The first one is going to be search btn, which is for the button, document dot get element by id, and then here we are going to do search btn id. Then we want the movie input, which is this one here, search for a movie, document dot get element by id, and here we are going to set movie input. Good. Next one is movie container, const movie container, document dot get element by id, and we want movie container on camel case, movie container. We want to get the modal. Const modal is going to be document get element by id, and we want to get here movie model. Excellent. So after this we want to get the modal details, so let's put here const modal details is going to be equal to the same document.getElementById, and here is going to be modal details. Good. Then we want const modal poster, it's going to be the same document.getElementById, and modal poster, we want to get the close modal button, close modal. Next one is the prep page, the previous page button, const prep page btn. Then const is going to be for the next page button, next page button. Next one, the page info, which is this one here, page info. Page info, camel case. Next one is pagination. So for this one here, we want to, well, let me just verify. Yes. So yeah, it's going to be the class of pagination. So if I want to reference this, I need to use querySelector instead, because we want to reference the class. So let's put here get querySelector. All we do here is reference the class with dot and then pagination, the same way that we set the styles on the CSS files. And then I want the scroll top button, const scroll top button btn, document dot get element by id, and it's going to be scroll top btn. Just to verify here, scroll top btn, we are going to use copy from from the index.html, and yeah, we have it. So now let's declare two let variables. The first thing is going to be current page, that we are going to start by 1, and then let current query, that we are going to be using to be looking for the movies, and we are going to start with an empty string. Then for the pagination, we want to give some style here, so let's put display to be none, and we want it to be display none at the beginning, because at the beginning, as you see, we don't have any movies loading in because we haven't searched anything, so it doesn't make any sense to have the pagination if we don't have result. That's why we are using this line here. Good. So now we are going to add an event listener to the search button, search btn, then add event listener, and I want to listen on click. Then we are going to do something on the callback here. For the callback, we are going to set the current page to be equal to 1, and then I'm going to call the method of fetchMovies that we are going to be declaring in a sec. fetchMovies. Good. So then I want to give some event listener for the movie input. I want to add an event listener here to be on the keypress, and I want to do something here. Let's put the E because we want to get the event, and here for the E I want to set if the E the key is equal to enter. That means that we want to set the current page to be equal to 1, and then fetch the movies too. Fetch movies. Excellent. So now I want to add an event listener for the close modal. So let's put here close modal dot add event listener, and I want to set on click 2. So let's put here click, and then all I want to do here, we are going to set the modal dot style, because we are going to change CSS property, and then display is going to be equal to none, because we want to close the modal if we close on the close modal icon. Okay, so after this we are going to give some add event listeners for the previous page button. So let's put here previous page btn add event listener. We are going to listen for the click event too. Let's do a callback, and here on the callback we are going to make a conditional that says if current page if greater than 1, that means that we can go back. So let's put here current page minus minus, because we are going to decrease one page. Then we are going to fetch the movies again, and we are going to scroll to top. That is another method that we are going to be declaring shortly too. Scroll to top. Scroll to top. Excellent. So now we are going to do the same, but for the next page button. So next page button, add event listener. But we are going to do the opposite. So here we are going to listen on click, and for the next button, let's put here current page plus plus, because we are going to be adding 1. And then I want to fetch the movies too, and scroll to top. Scroll to top. Yeah, good. So after this, I want to set an event listener for scroll. So let's put here window.add event listener, and I want to listen for the event of scroll, which is this. of course, yeah. When you are scrolling, that's the event that we are capturing here. So then I want to do something here. So let's put the callback, and here on the callback, we are going to declare a conditional that says if document element dot scroll to top if greater than 200, then let's put here scroll top btn dot style dot display to be equal to block, and else we are going to do the opposite, that is none. So what this means is if we have been scrolling and we are greater than 200 when we scroll down, then we are supposed to be seeing the, in this case, the scroll to top button here. And once we click on the scroll to top button that is located here and we go back again to the top, the button is supposed to be disappearing. So that's why we have also this line here. Okay, excellent. So after this, we are going to create an event listener for the scroll top button as well. Scroll top button, then add event listener. We are going to be listening for the click. Second parameter is going to be the callback, and here I want to scroll to top. So let's put here scroll to top. Yeah, and it's going to be a function. Excellent. So after this, we are going to be declaring the function of scroll to top, and all we want to do here is a window dot scroll to, and here we are going to set the parameters that we need. For the top we want to start on 0, and then the behavior is going to be smooth. So let's put here smooth. So what we want is to go to the top of 0. It will be going to this area here, and we want the behavior to be smooth. So in this way we have a smooth transition. Excellent. So now we want to declare the function of fetchMovies. It's going to be an async function. So let's put here async, and then function fetchMovies. Good. Then here we want to get current query is going to be equal to the movie input dot value, and we are going to trim that value to get rid of the white spaces on both sides of the word. Then if the current query is not present, then I want to set here something on the movie container. On the inner.html, I want to set something here with a p tag that says please enter a movie name, and this will be entering if the user doesn't capture anything on the input, and by some reason he click on search or the enter key. Okay, and then I want the pagination dot style dot display to be equal to none too, because we don't have any matches, so we don't want to show the pagination, and we want to return. So we are not going to be executing any line after this. Excellent. In the case that we get a match, we get a word or something that the user type on the input, we are going to be doing some additional stuff. First, we are going to be starting by the movie container, and then on the inner.html we are going to set to be a p tag that is going to be saying loading and 3 dots. Excellent. Then we are going to do a try catch because we are going to be making a call for the API that we are going to be using to be getting the movie matches. So we want here to have a try catch. We have been using this on previous lessons, and this is for consuming, in this case, HTTP calls. So first we are going to create a res variable here, and then we are going to say await because I want this code to be completed before you go. We want this code to be completed before you continue to the next line. So here on the fetch, I'm going to copy the URL that I have. So in this way I don't make any mistake, and I'm going to explain you how it's structured. So what we have here is that we are going to be fetching to this URL www.omd API, which is for getting movies. And then the current query is going to be the value that we get here from the input. And the current page is going to be for the pagination, as well as for the API key is going to be this one that we have here at the top. Okay, nice. So after this, we are going to format the data. So we are going to do another const here, data, and then we are going to await because we want to format that data on JSON. So let's put here res.json. Good. And then we are going to make an if conditional here. So we are going to say if data.response is equal to false, then we are going to set on the movie container the inner.html is going to be equal. We are going to be using backtip in this case because we are going to be using a string interpolation. So let's put here the p tags and close it, and then we are going to use $sign and brackets to be using data.error. And then also for the pagination, we don't want it to display, so I'm just going to copy the line that we have here on 70. Good. And after this, we don't want anything to be done, so we are going to return. Excellent. So after this, we are going to, in the case that we get results from the API, we need to show the results. So we are going to set movie container, then we are going to modify its inner HTML2, and we are going to do data.search, and then we are going to map all that data. We say that we want to get on each iteration the movie, and we are going to return something. So here I am going to use backtips because we are going to be using string interpolation. And what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to copy the result. I'm going to explain you. It's very easy. It's easy to understand. So here what we are doing is that we are going to be injecting by each iteration that we do on the map a div that is going to have the class of movie car, and then on the on click we are going to set to the event of showDetails, where we are going to be passing as parameter the movie ID, because this will be very handy for us when we click on the car, and then for us to fetch that specific data of that movie that we want, and then show those additional info in the model. Okay, then inside of the div we are going to have an img, which is for the image, and then we are going to make a comparison inside of the source. So we are going to be making a comparison of the property of poster, which is related to the image of the movie. In the case that there is not an image of the movie, that means that we are going to be showing this placeholder. So let me just copy this. I'm going to open this on another tab. Okay, so yeah, this is not working. Maybe I can use I can just set it later. But basically what this means is if there is not any image, then show me a placeholder that is going to have a width and a height that is going to be 220 for 330 in this case. And then for the alt, we want to have the movie title, and then we are going to be showing the H2 that is for the movie title, and then on the P tag we are going to be showing the year. Okay, so yeah, and after this we are going to join everything, and that's it. Good. So after this we want to set we want to show the pagination, so let's put here pagination.style.display, and we want it to be on flex. Excellent. Then for the page info, I want to modify its text content, so the text content is going to be equal to we are going to be using here backtips, and let's put page, and then we are going to set the page to be to the current page. Excellent. Then for the previous button, we want to the disable is going to be equal to current page is equal to 1. So this means that if the current page is equal to 1, we don't want to have the previous page available for the user to click, because we'll be going back to a previous page that it will be 0, and the page number 0 doesn't exist. That's why we are using the disable. And then for the next page button, the disable is going to be according if in the data there is more to show. So let's put here data.search.length is less than 10. Okay, nice. So in the case that by some reason the API is not working, we are going to be doing some logic on the error. So here let's put movie container, and then inner.html is going to be equal to backtips here. So yeah, let's just put simple quotes because we are not attaching any variables. So let's put here p, and then just close it, and let's say here something went wrong, please try again later. Excellent. Then I want the pagination dot style dot display to be none, because we got an error and we don't want to show the pagination on error too. Good. So now the function, the two functions that we are missing is showDetails and addToFavorites. So here we are going to be opening another function that says that is an async one too. Async function. I want to have the name of showDetails, which is for showing the details of the movie. I want to pass a parameter of ID because we need it in order to fetch the specific movie that we want. We are going to be using also try catch, so let's just put it here. And here inside of the try, we are going to fetch the data. So here it's quite similar to what we did here at the top on line 78. But here we are going to be fetching from a specific ID and the API key. Okay. Then we are going to get the movie from we are going to get the movie from formatting into JSON. So let's put here a const variable with the name of movie and says await res.json. Excellent. And then here I'm going to do something. So let's put here modal poster.src if equal to movie.poster, and then if movie.poster is different than NA, in this case that is not assigned, then we are going to do something, or we are going to do another thing. This is the way of using a ternary operator. Okay, so here in the case that we have the movie poster that is different of NA, that means that we have an image. So we are going to be using movie.poster. In the case that the movie.poster is not different to the NA, that means that the movie doesn't exist. So we are going to be using a placeholder, quite different, quite similar to the one that we use on line 94. So here, yeah, I'm just going to copy the placeholder that I have here. It's this one. Excellent. So now I want to set some info for the model details. So let's put here model details dot inner HTML, and we want to have some backtips here. Yeah, I'm going to copy and paste all that I have here, and I'm going to explain it to you. It's not a big deal. So basically, it's just HTML elements that we need to set on the image.html. Yeah. So first we have here an h2 that is going to show in the title of the movie and the year. Then we have different p tags that I use in the strong for the words of gender, director, actors, IMDb rating, plot. And we also have a button that on click we are going to be setting to a function that is called addToFavorites that we are going to be declaring shortly. And we have here all the properties that are related to the data that we are showing. So for the gender, we are going to have movie.gender. For the director, actors, rating is IMDb rating. For the plot is the same. And for the addToFavorites, we need to set, in this case, we need to get the IMDb ID, the title, the poster, the year, and then for the content of the button, we are going to have the content with the heart of addToFavorites button. Okay, nice. So, and also after this, we want to set the modal to be on flex. So let's put here modal.style.display is going to be equal to flex. Excellent. So after this here, we are going to set a console.log. Yeah, let's put them console error. Yeah, because to be referencing there is an error, and I just want to show the error that we get here. Yeah, we are not going to do anything else. Okay. So yeah, after this we got done with the function of showDetails, and I want right now to declare the function of addToFavorites. So let's put here function addToFavorites, and we need as parameters the ID, the title, the poster, and year. After this, we want to declare inside a const variable of favorites. We want to parse the JSON, so let's put here JSON.parse, because we are going to be getting some values from the local storage. So let's put here local storage dot get item, and we want to get the key of favorites. Good. And in the case that we don't have it, we are going to be setting an empty array. Okay, good. So then we are going to be implementing an if conditional here, and we are going to say if we don't have favorites, fine. Then here we want to do a callback on each iteration. So let's put here movie.imdbid equal to the ID. Then we are going to do something here, and we are going to say favorites the push and we are going to be pushing an object. So this line here says if that movie that we want to add to favorites is not present on the favorites array, that means that we can add it. So that's what we are doing here on line 143. So we are going to push an object with the properties of IMDb that is that is related to the ID that we are passing on the parameter. Then for the title, I want to have a title. For the poster, I want the poster. And for the year, I want the year. Good. And then we are going to update the local storage. So let's put here local storage.setItem because we are overriding the value. And I want to override the key of favorites. And then I want to set a JSON.stringify because in this way we are going to be formatting the data to be saved on the local storage. I want to set the favorites array to be with the JSON stringify, and then here on alert I want to fire a message. I'm going to use backtips here. I'm going to set the title added to favorites. Good. And then in the case that the movie that we are trying to add to favorites is already on the favorites page, we are going to set an alert with the message that says already in favorites. Excellent. So right now, for example, let me just look for a movie here, Matrix. Voila, as you see, it's working. So basically what we have here is all the movies, and if I click right now in one of the movies, you see that we are going to be opening the modal with that beautiful transition that we have over there of escalation, and this is related to the keyframes that we use here. Let me just go back to the keyframes that we have on the styles.css from the opacity to transfer, where we are scaling from 0.95 to 1 is the same that we are using here on the animation. And then once we open the modal, you see that we are able to see the title, the changes, the director, the artist, and blah blah blah. And if I click on add to favorites, this the matrix reloaded add to favorites. Good. So we can close this, and now we are going to proceed to give some styles. No, I mean not styles, but give some interaction to the favorites. So now we are going to be able to see those values that we have on the favorites on the local storage. So now let's go to the favorites here, the script.js. Here, this one is going to be quite smaller in comparison to the script.js. So we want to get the favorites container. Const favorites container is going to be equal to document.getElementById, and then we want to get the favorites container. Favorites container. Excellent. Then I want to create a function that is going to be called loadFavorites. Okay, and here I'm going to be getting the values from local storage. So let's put here const favorites is going to be equal to json.parse. I want to get the values from local storage. So let's put here local storage dot get item. I want to get the items of favorites, and in the case that we don't have anything, we are going to be setting an empty array. Okay, and then I want the favorites container, the inner HTML to be empty because we don't have any favorites. Okay, good. So let's see now if favorites the length is equal to 0, that means that is empty. We don't have any movies added on the favorites. So let's put here favorites container dot class list. We are going to remove a class that is called the same favorites container, and then we are going to add a class favorite container class list dot add, and we want to add the class of NT message, and then I want to add an inner HTML. So let's put here favorites container inner HTML is going to be this message that we are going to be using p tag for paragraph, and we are going to say you haven't oh yeah, let's better use backtips here because I'm using some single quotes inside of the message. You haven't added any favorites yet. I'm going to be using a camera icon, so I'm just going to copy and paste here, and there you go. Excellent. And we are going to return because we don't want any code to be executing after this line in case that we enter to the favorites.lang and it's empty. Okay, good. In the case that we pass that line, that means that we have favorites, so we are going to map throughout each of the movies that we want. So we are going to do a for each, and here we are going to use a callback inside of it, and here I want to declare a const variable that is going to be named car because I want to create an element here. So let's say document.getElement, and I want to create a div. Then I want to add a class for that div, so let's put here car class list dot add. I want to add the class of movie car. Excellent. Then I want to set an inner HTML for the car. So here I'm going to be using backtips again. And here, yeah, to avoid making mistakes, I'm going to be copying this part. I'm going to explain you. It's not a big deal. So what we have here is the button that with the class of remove-btn, that is the one that we previously created on styles.css, which is for removing the movie from the favorites page. And then here we are going to create an onClick event that is going to be attaching an event to the function of removeFavorite that we are going to be declaring shortly. Then for the removeFavorite, we need to pass a parameter, in this case, which is the movie ID. So in this way, we know what movie we are going to be removing. And inside of the button content, we have the X. After this, we have the image where we are going to be showing related to the movie. And as you know, this is quite the same logic that we use on the script.js in order to determine if the movie has an image or not. And then we are going to be showing the title and the year. Good. And once we do all of this, we are going to be appending everything on the favorites container. So let's put here favorites container dot append child, and we are going to append the car. Good, excellent. So after this, we are going to create the function of remove favorite. So let's put here function remove favorite, and we are going to be passing the ID. So let's create here a let variables that is going to be favorites, and we want also to get the favorites from local storage. So I'm just going to copy this that we have on line 4. The difference here, because I'm using let, is because we are going to be modifying this array, so, and that's why. So here let's put favorites is going to be equal to favorites dot filter, and I want to filter the movie that has the ID that I want to remove is going to be removed from the favorites array. So here I want to say that the movie dot IMDb ID that is different to the ID, I don't want it at the time of filtering. So that means that we are going to be getting a new array of favorite movies where the ID that we are passing through the remove favorite is not going to be included. Okay. And after this, we are going to update again the local storage. So let's put here local storage dot set item, and then I want to set the key of favorites. Also, we are going to do some JSON stringify, and we want to set for the favorites array that we have previously, and we want to load favorites again. And for the last, we need to call the loadFavorites at the end of the file. So in this way, on the first render, we are going to verify if we already have some movies on the local storage added to the favorites key. So let's put here load favorites on call, and voila. As you see here, yeah. Let me just verify something here because, yeah, this remove-btn, it should be position, yeah, the movie card, then it should be position absolute. Yeah, that's it, because it's not, yeah, that's it. So on the remove-btn, we are going to set the position to be absolute. So in this way, we have it on the top right, which is what I'm expecting to see. So let's go to the on the favorites.css, on the remove-btn, and here let's put position absolute. Good. Excellent. So now, as you see, we are able to see the movie that we added, and in the case that we want to get it removed, we just click here, and that's it. You see, as soon as we remove the movie, we don't have it anymore, and then we are showing the message in the case that we don't have any movies on the favorites array, and it says you haven't added any favorites yet. So let's go back again. We are going to look, for example, to other movies, Maze Runner, which are some series that I really like. For example, let's add all the parts. Maze Runner, the first one, okay, and then this one, and the last one here. And I want to also add another one from the Fantastic Beasts. So let's put here Fantastic Beasts. I want to add all three. 1, 2, and 3. So now if I go to favorites, you see we have all 6 movies added to the favorites. And if I reload, just to verify that we are using local storage, you see that the data is persistent. So yeah, this was all the application, guys. I hope that you like this tutorial. I hope to see you in the next video. If you want to continue learning, you can see more of my videos on this area here. Thank you very much, and hope that you have liked this video. See you in the next one.